All right, welcome everybody to TNT, your weekly tech podcast. And we have a bunch of creative, interesting people on here tonight. We have Roddy, King, 2A, Sam, and Jojo. Welcome to the show. Hope you're all doing well. How's your week been there, guys?
Really good for me.
Great.
I've had better last couple of weeks, but I'm okay.
Sam's currently nursing a knee reconstruction, I guess is the right
Yeah,
term.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should see the other guy. The other guy's a lot worse off.
Yeah. Yeah. The other guy's is it your right knee, Sam, or your left?
Left knee.
So the other guy's right knee's fucked up, but Sam won the fight. So,
Right.
That's what he's at. Anyway.
I just want to say my fucking week was terrible, but it's all good.
Was that, King?
I'm just getting over being sick. That's why I couldn't be here last week.
Roddy.
I didn't have. Yeah, Roddy gave me a STD over the internet, and I subscribed to his OnlyFans, and then I immediately got sick. So whatever that means. But I'm just getting over. I thought it was maybe COVID or something, but some sinus infection or whatever. Y'all don't want to hear about this bullshit. But I'm feeling a little bit better, and I've got 2 weeks worth of bullshit to talk about. So I'm here.
Now, King, just one quick question: did the ointment that I sent you work?
No, that's how I got sicker. I got even sicker after I got the package.
Anyway, all right. So let's jump right in, guys. So we're going to kick things off today about something that we mentioned last week that I know that a few of us have tried here, and we just want to kind of build out this story a little bit. So for those of you who are unfamiliar,
are you ripping the Band-Aid off right off the bat?
We're going into Sunbird right here.
Are you fucking? I love you, dude. I love you.
So,
hold on, I'm going to mute my mic and let you talk because I'm not going to be able to maintain myself.
Okay, sure. So for those of you who don't know, there is a cross-platform messaging service called Sunbird who claims that you can both text and iMessage in one platform, which is what Android users have been asking for some time. Now, here's the thing. We all tried the alpha version of this app, which is the only version apparently that exists currently. Some shady shit going on. So basically what we discovered is that you do have to sign into your Apple ID. However, that's where the kind of story takes a turn right from the onset. So basically what we've discovered is that you are actually signing in to a Mac Mini located in Montreal. We don't know whose Mac Mini. It could be some dude stealing all of your data and all of your login details.
It is in Canada, so Darren.
It's in Canada, so there's already that.
Okay, so I have a question. How do you guys know that?
Mini. Because it shows up.
We've been alpha testing the product for the last week. Yeah, and it's connected to your Apple ID. You have to sign in, and anywhere you go, like you know how Apple is, you can see where your device is.
It tells you the location. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought there was like a news story or something that I missed.
No,
That it was a discovery.
No, there should be a news story, but we'll get to that.
Yes. Well, I was just going to say how I discovered it. I mean, I understand that you had to sign in, and I mean, yes, when it's an alpha app, there's going to be some shady behind-the-scenes shit going on. That's every alpha app. But anyway, I discovered it when I was going through my settings of my iPhone and looking at where I'd been signed in, and my iPhone, Apple Watch, whatever was there. And I'm like, Mac Mini. And I had to think, where the fuck did I sign up? I don't even own a Mac Mini. I never have owned a Mac Mini. And all of a sudden, the alarm bell started to ring out. Like I'd uninstalled the app. I'd gotten rid of all the data. But yet I was still signed in on a mysterious Mac Mini in Canada, Montreal. The fucking French-speaking part of Canada that no one likes. But anyway, here we are. So I just wanted to kind of get some thoughts. So I know King, Roddy, 2A, I know you guys all installed the app, and I know we all have very different experiences.
Let these motherfuckers go first. Let me go last, please.
Let's go, Roddy. Roddy, tell us what was your experience using Sunbird?
So it wasn't terrible. Like I didn't have any issues getting logged in or getting it set up or any of that kind of stuff. The only issue that I had why I got rid of it is because I could send and receive text and iMessages that way. But when it came to like sending pictures or videos, they wouldn't come across at all. Like it wasn't that it didn't send. It's like I knew my mom was sending a picture and it would not come through. Like it showed her text, but it didn't show it. And it would say it was iMessage, but there was nothing there. And then I try to send pictures through it or videos or whatever, and nothing. So it was like, you're texting and it's showing as an iMessage, but it's not sending it wouldn't send any kind of media. So I just got rid of it.
Right. Okay. And so you actually were receiving iMessages? Because I had an issue where I couldn't get any iMessages. I was signed in, was getting texts fine, but iMessages were just not coming through at all.
Yeah, I checked with a buddy of mine that I knew had an iPhone, and I was texting, from my Android, and I was like, "Is this coming through as an iMessage?" And he said, and he screenshotted it and tried to send it. And I was like, he said, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "No, I can't see it." And he was like, "Yeah, it's coming through. You're blue, and it says iMessage." So was working, but no media would go through at all.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. I wonder. It kind of makes me wonder what kind of shady programming has happened, behind the scenes to make sure that, you're able to get iMessages and all. Because I mean, surely Apple would never sign in on that. And my theory is that by signing into the app, you're essentially handing your data or your login information over to somebody else who has somehow managed to work out some kind of system where you could finagle it to kind of get iMessages to come back and forth in an Android space. Mm-hmm. Tuna, what was your experience, bud?
Well, I've got like 10 phones, and I installed it on a Pixel 7 Pro. I created an account, and then I tried to log into iTunes, and it would say, on my iPhone next to me, it would say, someone from Montreal, Canada, on a Mac Mini, do you allow this? And it tells you in the instructions to go ahead and allow it. Well, then it gives me a number. But then on the Sunbird app, it wouldn't let me type in that number anywhere. So I kept trying, different phones, still wouldn't work. So I actually turned off the iPhone, tried it again, and eventually Sunbird kicked up a number, but then I couldn't enter that number anywhere. Finally, when I got past that, the app would just force close every time I opened it. I force closed it myself. I cleared the cache, reinstalled it, and now it doesn't even work. I checked my iPhone, and I didn't see I was logged in anywhere. So apparently I never got past the iTunes authentication or whatever, which is fine by me because that Montreal, Canada Mac Mini thing kind of threw me for a loop. Doesn't sound like they're trying to get everyone to go through one unit. And that's why it's an alpha. And I don't know if you guys have known this. I signed up for the alpha when it first came out, probably a couple months, I don't know how long ago, 3 or 4 months ago, I signed up. And it said you're on the waiting list. And to get moved up, you had to share it and get more people to sign up, which I did. And it moved me up like 30,000 people, it said. And I still haven't got any information on that. But I called out some guys on Twitter about it. Not called out, but I just kind of said a few things. And I got lambasted saying that I'm an idiot. I wasn't part of the beta. You don't know what you're talking about. And I said, well, I installed it in 3 different Android phones and I have an iPhone and it did not work for me. That was my personal experience.
Well,
also the spam. There was I started getting a bunch of spam stuff, emails. And
I didn't get that. So
my goodness, I can't tell you. So since I installed and uninstalled that app, my Gmail account, fucking hell. I'm talking about a 30 to 40% increase in spam that was getting through all of the filters that exist within Gmail there and my own filters I'd set up and was making its way into my inbox. And I'm like, where's this shit coming from?
Terrible.
Yeah.
But I didn't go ahead with testing the app. I was
Jojo, now you have to go and install it and give us your. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Jojo, you're gonna have to do it as
your turn.
Use a fake email, maybe.
I'm not going anywhere near it now. Thank you, guys.
I wouldn't. My Google One thing today said that I was approaching like my limit or whatever, and I was like, that's weird. And so when like my storage limit or whatever. And I was like, that's strange. So like when I went in, it was because it said your spam folder needs to be cleaned and blah, blah, blah. And I went and looked and there was like 17,000 spam emails in there, which is like,
oh, wow.
What worries me about that is I pay for Google One, so I got a little more storage, and I don't get those warnings. But now I'm worried that my junk mail is even more than yours because
you should check.
I should probably check right now.
Yeah, I've only got like 2 gigs or 2 terabytes or something like that. So, but
excuse me.
I share a lot of files.
Did you guys hear something? I didn't hear anything.
I think
Here we
King's been
go.
biting his tongue there.
Here we go.
Listen. I had to go get the Skinny Pop. Shout out to Skinny Pop if y'all are watching. I fucking love y'all. Just on the off chance. Okay, so here's the deal. I signed up on this website that promised me that if I shared links to people and they gave their information over, that I would be moved up in a waiting list, right? Okay, fine. Again, I signed up pretty early. When I signed up, there were less than 1,000 people. Okay, I shared it. 33 people signed up. Okay, because you can look and see how many signed up.
Yeah.
33 people signed up. I got moved up to 408. Today, I am still 408. So, I'm part of their Discord, all this stuff. Somebody contacted me and said, hey, would you like access to the app? I said, yeah, of course, like access to the app. Who the fuck doesn't want to iMessage on Android? This is a really big deal. This is like all jokes aside, fuck iMessage personally. But in the United States of America, iMessage is a big deal. Outside of the United States of America, there's just plenty of apps. I don't even use iMessage on my Apple phones anymore because I don't like the way that Apple tries to maneuver. That's all my own opinions. But if I could just use an app that is going to be a central hub where I can iMessage, RCS, SMS, Telegram, Signal, all of that, why the fuck not? Of course I would use that. I'd have to be an idiot not to.
Okay. Yeah.
So, right. So if I wanted to sell you some bullshit, I would tell you all the shit that you wanted to hear to get you to sign up for the shit that I want you to sign up for. And that's what Sunbird has done. And Sunbird, will tag you in this afterwards, you motherfuckers, because here's what happened. I stayed in your shitty Discord for weeks, and you guys are horrible at communicating with your fan base. People are having these issues, and what is happening is when they're having issues, you're kicking them the fuck out of the Discord.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So let me explain. Let me clarify what happened.
You got kicked out, didn't you?
Oh, you motherfucker! If anybody's getting kicked the fuck out, it's King. King's getting kicked because I'm gonna talk my shit. But I was
shady though.
I was real respectful about the shit. I was real respectful about the shit because I didn't come at it from a content creator point. I came at it from a consumer-based point. And I said, this solves a lot of problems. Let me take this hat off and just put my consumer-based hat on and say, okay, now I'm a 17-year-old kid who really likes what the Pixel or Samsung has to offer, but my girlfriend has an iPhone and she doesn't want to be my girlfriend if I don't blue bubble or whatever bullshit, right? So let me go from that aspect of it because that's a real thing here in the States if people don't know that. So I used the app. I had no problem signing up. Tuna had a bunch of problems signing up. I believe him.
It's the user, not the, it's probably me. It's probably me. I get it.
But I was going to say he's got a hamster wheel in his head. So I had no problem technologically getting it installed and setting it up. And then iMessaging with people that I can contact on iMessage. And for the first, I want to say good 2 hours, the shit was solid. Yeah. It was beautiful. Okay. It was beautiful. Okay. 2 hours. But then I was talking to people and they weren't responding. So I'm like, why the fuck are you ignoring me? Like somebody I'm in the middle of a conversation with.
Yeah.
So I called somebody and I said, hey, why aren't you fucking answering any of my messages? Like I've answered every single one of them. They sent me a screenshot. I'm not getting the return messages. I'm getting about 25% of the return messages, but they were receiving all of my messages.
Right.
Not bad. And I didn't try at first. I didn't try any GIFs or any audio or anything. I'm just straight talking about messaging. Yeah, that's fucking weird, but it's an alpha, whatever. So because I like Tuna, I've got phones every fucking one coming out of the ass. I have multiple phone numbers. So I got my iPhone out and I got my Android out and I tried it on 3 different Android phones to 3 different iPhones. And I messaged myself and had the same exact problem. I got 1 of 4 messages maybe came to me, but all my messages went through. And I was like, that really sucks. You know, It's an alpha, but whatever. And so I tried that for a couple of days, and then I ended up shutting it off because it's just unreliable. And I would have left it at that. I really would have that would have been the end of my conversation. But I'm in their shitty Discord, so I just paid attention. And somebody made a comment that they were having the same kind of thing. And all I said was, yeah, that's happening to me. And some shrimp dick motherfucker came in that works for Sunbird and was like, wait, hold on, what's going on? And because I didn't have some official tag next to my Discord name that they personally gave me, accused me of lying and not using the app, first of all, saying I never used it. And then when I said my experience from a nice standpoint, about 4 or 5 other people responded and said, hey, that's been happening to me. Or like Roddy said, and I did test audio messages, photos. Sometimes they would completely force close the app completely, on me, completely just shut it down and lock it up, and would say undeliverable. So I couldn't really use iMessage the way that it's intended to use. Again, understand it's an alpha. I don't have a problem with the product so much. The issue that I have is, just like you guys, the email that I used an email that is not associated with my personal iMessage.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Because if Apple goes, hey, all these people are fucked, and they close it down,
right?
I don't want to lose that. So I used an email address that nobody has, that has never gotten a piece of spam ever. There are probably 300 fucking spam emails within hours of me signing up for this. So I'm going to go out, and I can only speak for myself. This is all declarations.
Can I stop real quick? When you say spam, is it coming to your account through the iCloud account, or is it coming through the one you signed up with?
The one I signed up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one I signed up with, the information that I gave them. So like you, though, you gave them an email address. I don't know if it's because maybe you didn't go through the full sign-up process, or didn't activate or flip a switch somewhere or whatever. But nobody in the world has this email address. This email address is like tuna eats ass at 1223-747.
No one has that email address.
So, right. Nobody else has that. But all jokes aside, I got flooded with emails out of nowhere. Yeah. And I was like, that's interesting. Then I heard Roddy say it. Then I heard Darren say it. So, okay, so that's adding up. So I'm going to go out on record. And I can only speak for King Silver, but you motherfuckers sold my information. You gave me a product that only half-assed works. And then when I came into your shitty little Discord and just said nicely that, hey, this was my experience, which I thought was the purpose of the Discord, was to let you know what the issues are in the alpha so that I could report it to you, so you could go do your fucking job and fix it, and then provide a beta, and then provide a platform later on down the road. Instead, you took 5 people who were having a conversation and threw them the fuck out. And how I know is because I screenshotted who they were, and I went and found 3 of them on Twitter and messaged them and said, hey, was that you in the Discord? Yeah. Did you get kicked? Yeah. So I confirmed with them. So Sunbird, fuck you. Fuck your app. You're a bunch of scam motherfuckers. If you have a problem with it, at King Sober AF, more than welcome to hit me with whatever legal jumbo y'all want. I got money. I got attorneys too. We can all play whatever games. But when it comes down to it, when customers get shitted on, and when they have a subpar product in alpha, people are going to go, oh, it's an alpha. Yeah. That's not the way that I came at it. The way I came at it was, this was my experience. I was called a liar, and then I was thrown out of the group for my experience without even being rude. Yeah. I wasn't rude until they threw me out. Now I'm going to go on Twitter and literally type, go fuck yourself, motherfucker. Like, I'm going to be rude.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you're covering up something. I don't know what it is. If it's just you're selling my email, or maybe you're collecting Apple accounts for whatever reason, or maybe y'all motherfuckers are from China and you're going to use people's iCloud information to get into their pictures and do some. I don't know what y'all are doing, but y'all are doing some not above board shit if you're throwing people out of your Discord for reporting issues that you're having that are constant issues. And the first thing he tried to tell me was I didn't use the app, that I had never used the app.
That's what I was told too.
That I never used the app, but I sent screenshots that I used it. He said, well, you're not supposed to be using the app.
Of course.
Okay. It's an Android app. APKs exist. Not my first time here. Very easy. If you have the APK, I could have the APK. The whole internet could have it. And why y'all are hiding it so much, but okay. The whole Mac Mini thing was weird. The spam thing was weird. But the weirdest part was when other people started saying, yes, this is my experience too. Yes, this is my experience. They were all taken and cast aside.
Yeah.
So that's where my biggest issue is. I'm always going to side with the consumer. I think the app on a consumer level is a good concept for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that it's built like a house of cards. I think it's full of shit.
And I'm actually kind of glad it didn't work for me because I'm not getting the spam. I never attached the Mac Mini to my account, so I'm kind of glad it didn't work out. And maybe it did go back to that Discord thing since I wasn't part of the Discord. I don't know how they track.
Oh, and just so Sunbird is aware, I have the IP address of that Mac Mini that was connected to my account. So I mean, whatever y'all want to do, I can make a trip.
It's probably a botnet anyway. So they're probably not getting their IP. They're probably botnet. I mean,
it probably
the whole thing is a scam, and the problem is they're gonna take advantage of people's really wanting to leverage that and get into using this product. So you're gonna expect that anybody that's some company you never heard of doing some dodgy ass shit from an iMac, and it all sounds. I mean, it's like, and remember, you're customers, but you didn't pay any money. But remember, caveat emptor exists, which means let the buyer beware. And I'm telling you, there's so many shady ass little hoops you had to go through to get this to work.
Yes.
And no thanks.
Too good to be true.
Until there's some kind of official
not even to get it to work. So not even to get it to work, you got to jump through all these shady hoops, and it doesn't even fucking work.
Right. Yeah. And so, no thanks. I'll pass on. I mean, if I really want to iMessage, I'll just leverage an iPhone. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. Or unless there's some more of an official, unless a company comes out with an official APK or something. Or
I don't give a fuck if Apple buys Sunbird. I ain't using it. They're done.
Right.
That name is completely tarnished.
I'm sorry. That's really sketchy.
I think the most interesting part of that, like you said there, King, is that why so much control over who's voicing their opinion. And I think that's what sets off. I mean, the Mac Mini shit I could maybe overlook if it worked really well. And even then, I'd still be suspicious. But the fact that they're silencing people who are bringing this to their attention, and I'm a dumb fuck who used my actual email address, right? Because that's how I am. But
you're done. You're done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I've been sending emails to spam all fucking week since I installed this app. So every fucking day, it's a new game. How many am I gonna get today? They keep sending me these penis enlargement spams. I don't know why.
That's not spam. That you signed up for that.
You were searching. Come on.
I mean, really?
It's in the
2004. Right.
Here's my concern is that when you have an alpha or beta, I can understand wanting to restrict to certain people, but then don't put an APK out there where someone's going to grab it and send it out to millions of people. You got to be more controlled than that. And then I can understand not letting some people in because if they have a small server, they're trying to build it, see how it works. But it sounds like to me, you guys had a lot worse experience. Mine just wouldn't work, period.
It sounds like they've got 3 Mac Minis and some popsicle sticks and said, "Hey, let's do this."
Yeah.
Because I don't understand. Because if you go into the Discord right now and read through the comments, because I mean, you kicked me out of the Discord group. I can't use another email and get back into the Discord group and see what the fuck y'all said afterwards. So the bad comments are not there and the good comments are there. Why would that be? Yeah. Why would that be?
Yeah, it's funny.
I had a bad feeling.
Yeah,
I had a bad feeling about this company from the beginning because when they first reached out to the press, I was part of the whole, presentation that they did showing the app, and they were very, very they wouldn't answer any questions directly. Everything.
Where'd you see that at? I didn't see that.
That was before that. What is it? It was How to Men video. It was before that. It was way before that.
Yeah. It was when they reached out to the press so that we would write articles and kind of promote the app and stuff like that. And
it reminded me when Andy Rubin went on to talk about the Essential Phone, but refused to talk about the Essential Phone.
Yeah. So I never got to sign up for the app because I just had a bad feeling about it, and now I
blame King.
I'm glad I listened to my gut feeling.
King told me it was amazing. He's like, try this app.
It was. And see, that's how that's the problem. I felt bad.
Pyramid scheme.
It's called multi-level marketing, motherfucker.
Sorry.
Chill out. But no, for 2 hours, man, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I think that's actually by design. So, if I get this amazing thing and all of a sudden I'm going, wow, this shit is cool. I'm going to tell you, hey man, here. And then 2 hours later, you will already have it. We've already spread it like a virus now, and now all of a sudden it's not so cool anymore. It's not working
Here's
great.
the question, King. When you expressed your happiness for the app, was this before or after you were kicked out of Discord group when you shared?
It was before. I really did have to take a moment because it is very hard for me to be unapologetically myself and to just say the first thing that comes right to the front of my brain. You guys might catch that. I don't know. But I had to come from not an outspoken person who has 8 phones, 9 phones, and I'm thinking of the 17-year-old kid who's going to go, wait, I have an Android phone. All my friends have iPhones. All I got to do is download this and I can iMessage with them. Cool. I'm going to try it. And that's the type of person who's not going to understand any of this. They're not going to know what Discord is, know how to even talk about. They're just going to collect their information and get a subpar product, and they're going to get fucked. And they're going to have anywhere to go. We have outlets because we know more than the average consumer. I can go back on Discord, but that was one of their official outlets for them to give feedback on their product. And then when I give you feedback from that standpoint on your product, that's the problem. So I went back in there in a different fucking message and saw that my messages were gone, and then told them how much they can shove their fucking app and their whole Discord. And I hope a few people read it before they deleted it. But yeah.
So you're a double spy. Oh wow.
Bro, I got, you know how many phones I got? Phone numbers and emails. Fuck around, play games. It's just like you said, if you want to limit it, I understand that. I do. Right. I really do. But there's been zero communication almost since, just like she was just talking about. Since that press release, there's been almost zero communication directly from them to the consumer. That beta list, if you go for that sign up, that over 50,000 people the last time I looked have given their information for, that number has not moved one number. Not one. Yeah. So they've got a lot of information. Yeah. I don't know who's doing what with what. All of a sudden I'm getting spam, shit connecting to some weird shit, and then they want to keep it quiet. Why would you want to keep it quiet? And the good news is if you are looking up stuff on the internet that's not good, you can say, hey, honey, I signed up for the Sunbird account. I don't know what happened. It's just popping up now. I didn't do it on purpose.
Exactly what Darren is doing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told him. But I mean, in all honesty, like as a bit of a consumer message here, for those of you who are using Sunbird, I honestly really feel like you should go change your Apple ID password.
Be careful.
Yeah, you can go in the app and you can revoke access to your. Well, and I don't know if they actually will follow it and abide by it. But I did go in and unseek it and revoke and try to do the best that I can to separate myself from this other account.
From my Apple ID account, all the devices under the devices list, I removed it from there as well.
Well, it goes forward for any app that says it's promising things that are too good to be true. You got to be careful 100%. And look into it. Any company can look professional. It just takes a couple clicks on the keyboard.
Hey, real quick, careful. If anybody is as invested in this as me, Alex Murdaugh has been found guilty in the murder of his wife and his son. The double homicide. It's a huge trial.
Wait, he did it?
It's just now breaking. He was found guilty. So. Live on TNT, you never know what the fuck you're gonna get.
That's exactly right.
Live right here.
Yes. That's world news, baby. That's world news.
Where's our sound guy at?
Sunbird is doing something, and I'm gonna go out on the limb and say you motherfuckers shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I wanted to just do a quick search here to see if anyone's talking about it, like a Reddit or anything like that, because.
Well, like I said, there was a tweet. What I saw online was a tweet. A guy said, hey, I've been testing out this app. It's fantastic. I can iMessage on an Android. So I responded back saying, I had that app too. I did not have that experience. And some people I know were getting spam, and it was kind of shady. And the person came back saying, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have the app. You're not part of the test. It works fine. You're an idiot. And there's one guy's like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't even have the app, and I know you're lying. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, it's funny. I just stumbled across something on Reddit here, which I'm just share the screen so you guys can see. But King, you might appreciate this. Hang on one sec here.
It'll be good then.
No, so somebody posted here something about their privacy policy, and apparently it says.
Look at that.
From my understanding, we will have access to be able to read every single message you send and receive using.
Wow!
Yeah, well, no shit. It's a proxy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly
what are you talking about? You're sending them the message and they're taking it and transcribing it and sending it to the device.
We're looking at it that way. The general consumer is not going to understand that. They don't know what a proxy is.
Well, and what the general consumer is not going to also understand is in order for you to gain access to that, you need two things. No, three things. You need your Apple ID, password, and permission, and you're going to give that to them. What also comes with that? Your iCloud photos. Everything backed up in the iCloud comes with that. So listen. I'm a handsome guy below the waist. There's pictures in the iCloud that they may or may not have now. I don't know what could happen, but seriously, all jokes aside, there's plenty of OnlyFans content creators who use iMessage, iCloud, whatever. So maybe that's what you do for a living, or you are an Instagram model or whatever. Now all of a sudden, your private pictures are out on the internet. This has happened before, so it's a privacy issue.
One of the things, just really quickly here, I just highlighted the line. I don't know if you can see that on screen or not, but it says they could use your information to provide you with tailored content such as email, newsletters, and promotion.
There you go.
There it is.
There's the spam.
All you do is you have to read it right there, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I mean, I understand that. Yeah, Tuna. I realize that people don't understand what a proxy is, and I understand that. But if you're installing any app from an untrusted source,
right,
it's like clicking on an email. Eventually. Yeah, I mean, they get to people all the time. It's like, I mean, you can only do so much, but at the end of the day, if you want to be the average consumer, I don't think average consumers are really trying to do what most of them. If they are, well, then they're going to get their.
It's funny you say that, Sam. I just thought of it. So I had the OnePlus 11, and I installed it on that phone and tried to log in first time. And when I realized something was kind of shady about it, I totally factory reset my phone and started all over again. I got freaked out because I'm thinking something's not right here, and they're saying something was churning, but nothing was coming out. So I'm like, I'm done. I restarted my phone and everything. And
if it's too good to be true and it's totally free and you have to sign in with your Apple credentials, you should. If that's not at least making the back of your hair stand up, it should. And if it doesn't, well, then a fool and their money are parted very quickly usually. So
funny that you bring up iPhones, because I think we need to talk about a particular content creator's fucking publicity video for Apple.
Yeah, Roddy. Yeah, he does those iPhone publicity stunts all the time.
Roddy's a shill. He's a shill.
Right? He's a shill.
Yes. Roddy takes all of his OnlyFans footage on his iPhone. That's
only an iPhone. Only an iPhone.
Only iPhone fans. Okay.
He has an IOF. That's what it is. It's the lowercase IOF. That's his. Yeah.
Not IVF, right?
No.
Hey, well, another content creator said that Android is ghetto, so I mean, you got to use an iPhone.
I think that. Yeah, who was the one who said that, Roddy? Just out of curiosity, we haven't a name.
What's his name?
Look, send it to me if you don't want to say it.
You can put it in the private chat if you don't want to say it.
No, fuck that. Send it to me and I'll say it.
Is it? I'll say it. Is it? It's a public tweet. Is it? What does he say his name?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. He does Day in the Life video.
Chevon.
Right?
I always want to call him Chevon. Is it Chevon? Is that his name?
He's
a young guy.
He's the one that won content creator of the year, right?
Canada. Yeah, he won.
First of all, please do not judge Canada based on that fucking moron's content, because he's a dumbass, and I mean that seriously.
I don't know.
No, listen.
He won content creator of the year, Darren. Yeah, sounds like you're jealous.
Listen, there's no jealousy here, but here is the thing, right? Like, and you're right, Roddy. This fucking guy I'm switching to the
Shalvon,
Ultra. Yeah. A week later, not even a week later, boom, Android is ghetto, and then he's like posting about how he's so happy to be on iPhone.
No. You got it wrong. It was 5 hours after he dropped Day in the Life and was big up in Samsung. Oh. It's not about how long I would anticipate it took for the money to transfer to his fucking account before he went on Twitter and said that Android is ghetto and he's so happy to be back on his iPhone. After he got 30-something thousand views right off the rip, dropping his clickbait bullshit video and saying how amazing the S23 is on camera to the people on YouTube, and then went on Twitter and said it was ghetto and he was so happy to be off of it. And the video wasn't even 6 hours old at the time.
Yeah.
Well, look, I used the Samsung S23 Ultra for a couple days, and I went back to my cups and string. It was so much better battery life right off the bat.
You never had the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra.
I did have for a day. I gave it to my dad. He bought it off me, so I gave it to my dad.
I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry.
Can we talk about? Listen, I don't want to talk shit about the S23 Ultra. I really don't, and I don't want to be that guy.
No, I don't.
But I think we need to talk about the fucking camera. Now, I know I messaged you guys throughout the week.
Oh, here we go again.
No,
wait, hold on. Disclaimer. We never saw any fucking proof about what you're going to say. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Area 51 over here.
Hang on 1 second. I'm going to grab.
By the way, before we move on from Siobhan Salmon, yes. I don't know if it's salmon or salmon.
Yeah,
that video that he dropped 4 days ago has 109,000 views on it. Okay, 109,000 views. And he has 284,000 subscribers with 805 videos. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
And so he dropped that. That's the last video that the man has uploaded. So it's still up.
His videos are good. Like he does really
good. Videos are good.
The content is good. He is a good content creator. He's just full of shit.
Yeah.
He's just full of shit. That's the problem. So when you go make a video like this, like okay, the Apple hold on there. Apple fanboy switches, clickbait, whatever. That one has 181,000 views in 2 weeks. The day in the life video has 109,000 views in 4 days. So I'm going to go on record and say I'd be willing to bet that this video is going to get more than the clickbait title one is actually going to get. So people say, oh, it's all clickbait. But 5 hours after this video dropped, if you go look on his Twitter, he said, oh, I'm so happy to be back on my iPhone. Android is the ghetto.
Ghetto. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to be, listen, this is coming from a young kid who has probably a big youthful following. And, you know, and this is the issue with, and I know we talked about this last week about, you know, people saying, oh, you know, I'm just going to end up going, and I know, King, you've been on a rampage this week about people switching back. And, you know, I appreciate
Me? No.
Yes. No, but I mean, I appreciate you bringing it to attention.
It's switching season.
Yeah, it is
bullshit.
It is exactly what it is. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, I don't, whether you like him or not, that's not beside the point. It's the fact that you're sending out like this kind of misinformation bullshit and clickbait bullshit that we have problems with. And that's what we've been, and a lot of people this week, a lot of us crew here have been just talking about. There's just this ongoing narrative of I'm going back, I'm switching back, I'm trying this, I'm trying that. And it's all, again, as King said, it's all for views, it's all for followers.
Well, and if you look at his previous year, go back to this time frame last year, he did the same thing. Apple fanboy does the S22 Ultra. And then he spent a day in the life video where he took the phone, he was like, and then immediately after that, he was back on his iPhone. He was switching back, and Apple fanboy realizes that Apple is the best thing in the and it's rinse and fucking repeat. And 190 you dumb fucks said, "This is what I would have watched." Like,
it's kind of like Apple. They sell a cleaning cloth, and it sells millions. People pay $50 for it. If people are going to click that thing, he's going to keep doing those clickbait titles.
I'm not mad at him for doing that. Right, I'm really not. Yeah. I'm not, and I'm going to go out and say I'm not even mad at the guy at all. He's very energetic, youthful. He presents well. He makes good fucking content. Like, he could do all this shit without playing the games, and I think still pull the numbers that he's pulling, if not more. I'm just not gonna.
That's my argument. That's my argument.
Because that's why I brought up, Roddy, that the clickbait video of him holding the S23 has 181,000 views in 2 weeks. The one of him just holding the product with no clickbait on it, a day in the life, has 109,000 in 4 days. So when content creators tell me you have to make these clickbait things to get views, well, fuck you. No, you don't. You can be authentic and just say, look, I fuck with Apple hard. I love Apple. I'm deep in the ecosystem. I'll understand that. But hey, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot and see if Sam can win my love this week. Oh, it's pretty good.
Hey,
it's a pretty good phone.
You gave me some good advice. I'm going to triple down on clickbait thumbnails now, just for that reason.
But watch it work too. Watch it work.
It probably will too. It'll be the worst videos ever, but that clickbait title will get everyone to watch.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what, King? King, why don't you tweet at Shalvon right now to join us
I have no problem doing that. I actually retweeted his ghetto tweet. He won't join, but I actually retweeted the ghetto tweet, and now I can't find the tweet. I think the man's deleted it.
I think he deleted it. Yeah, I can't.
I'm looking. It. Are you looking too? Yeah, because I'm looking through his life and all of it. I can't find it now, but he 100% said it for sure. And
I think Roddy, you retweeted. I saw your retweet.
Roddy retweeted it and hasn't stopped talking about it since. Everything's been ghetto as fuck all week.
Yeah. Well, and here's my. I didn't talk about this last week, but here's my whole gripe about all of it. Not just him, but like the same thing with like what King was going through with the clickbait stuff and talking to those guys and everything. My thing is this: is as a YouTube person, whether it's me or the guy that's got, I don't have 500 subscribers, right? But I still have a following. I have videos that have had, almost 10,000 views on it. And that's the thing is like you have an influence over people. You have an influence over the market. You have an influence of how people are spending your money or spending their money. Right. So if you tell someone, hey, this $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 phone is a good phone, and they go out and buy it. And then you turn around and say, oh, you shouldn't have really bought that. You should have bought this one. That one's ghetto. Well, they don't know what to think. So you automatically are setting up those people to, one, doubt their decision, but two, you're like messing up the market and which is ultimately your job. It's your business. So you're like destroying you're destroying your job. You're tearing your job down. You're becoming that person that like nobody wants to watch, nobody wants to listen to. And it's just aggravating because people they're not being responsible. They're just like King said, they're just trying to play the game, get cash the checks and move on. And it's just like, it's whoring out.
Somebody's going to go like buy so many others phone based on his recommendation and then turn around and say, didn't you just tell me that this was fucking awesome and now you're telling me it fucking sucks?
Well, I guess my question is, and I guess I like to play devil's advocate a little bit, and I agree with Roddy. I think that's infuriating and stupid, but my question is, let's say he's got 281,000, King, is that what you said? 281,000 subscribers?
281,000-ish, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, and let's just take a step back here. How many of you think those people who are either using an iPhone are watching his video and then go, you know what? I think I'm going to try the S23. And let's say they do.
Not many.
And let's say it's 10,000. Let's just say that, right? Let's just put that out there. If he came back immediately and said, oh, this is garbage, and I don't like the word ghetto being used in any context, especially like this, I think it's just a shitty play, but whatever.
Yeah, but use the word, man. I mean, that's what he used. So we're
right. Oh, I know. I'm saying I don't like that word. It's just not a good play, especially in tech.
It's but
really, you could actually, but you're in you're in your return period, right? If you bought it from an AT&T store, it's 14 days, right? If you bought it from a Verizon, or if you bought it off contract.
We're going to talk about that? Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying is you could return it if you really follow this guy's app.
Flip the narrative of what you just said, and let's talk about how many of these content creators buy phones and they suck. They're shit for a week, and then before the return period is up, they're back.
Probably. I'm just saying is I don't think Shelovan's clickbaity crap. I don't think it drives a lot of people going, oh, I've been using an iPhone for, especially if he has younger content creator or like younger viewers. They're probably using iPhones. That's why they probably watch him because he's an iPhone guy. So I don't think a lot of those people were going, and if they did, they either can go, well, I'm going to use the S23 because I actually do like it. I don't care what Shelovan says, or they can say, well, he if they're really that up in all his on his dime, they'll just turn it and return it and go back to their iPhone, or they get another iPhone. I just don't think a lot of these content creators. I think people at 281,000 views are like him. I don't think they're really driving a lot of flips, especially if he did it last year. They're like, oh, this guy flips constantly.
But the problem is he's mirroring people who have 200, well, not 200 million, but a million subscribers. They do the same bullshit. It trickles down. A lot of, not all of them. There's a lot of them that don't. But it's switch season. And then when the Pixel comes out, it'll be fucking stupid dumbass switches to Pixel for a week. Oh, it's great. And then stupid dumbass switches back to his iPhone because I like just be authentic and just say, hey, I rock hard with the iPhone. I fucking love it. It's the shit. Is it the best at everything? No, but I love it because of this. And I'm going to try this and see what it is. And you know what? Here was my experience with it. Now I'm going to put that to bed. I'm going to return the phone, go get my money back, and pick up my iPhone that I wanted to use from the beginning anyway. And you know what? You make that fucking video, I'll watch it, I'll click it, I'll like it, I'll share it, and I'll sub.
They won't get paid for that.
Well, like I said, I agree with Roddy though. I think it's infuriating. I don't like it as a practice, and I think you're right, King. It's not going to drive views. And at the end of the day, it might drive short-term views. You might get some play, but eventually that's not a long-term solution. If you want to be a creator that's in that, that's why I don't think Shelovan's going to be rocking a 2, 3, 4 million subscriber count, especially with that, because people are going to know that that's just not sustainable. You can't keep doing that. You might get the hardcore fans, but new people are not going to engage and go, you're just a flip-flopper, and I don't really care about that.
Yeah. I just hate what it does to the whole tech community in the space, and the guys out there that are doing good, that are doing it right without doing the clickbait stuff, that are doing it because they want to be honest, and they also, it's a hobby, they're an enthusiast of tech or whatever. It just kind of there's a lot of noise. It's like cluttering up the space right now. It's just garbage, and it's just people. It's just, like I said, it's just people whoring it out just for the money. And I'm like you, Sam. I don't know if it's even sustainable. And then here they are. They're going to run in, and then whenever it dies out, and they're not making their $30,000 checks or whatever, they're out the door, going on to the next thing. Also, now they're a gamer, and they're doing the same thing to that space. And I don't know. I'm not trying to police anything, but at the same time, it's just like, be mature, be honest. You don't have to be that way. Like there's plenty of guys out there that have 700,000 subscribers, and they post day in the lives, and they show the phone for the way it is, and they put it side by side with other phones, and they're and they're not
going back. Hey, I'm going to switch back. They just move back.
They switch to the next phone and just review it and just go on, and they don't have to pull all these antics to do that.
But there's one thing you're missing. The reason why people switch back to the iPhone is because now when you charge it, you save the world.
Good segue.
Right.
Yes,
before you segue off of that, I just want to add one thing, and I'm only going to bring this up. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm only going to bring this up because Roddy did comment on this post. I just want to give a big shout out to @Patrick_Rambles. This is my favorite person who has blocked me this week. He blocked me this week.
We should have a running thing for First King. People who blocked me this week, and they're like having an in memoriam.
I actually have a good idea at the end. Listen, I didn't even know who the guy was. I made a comment about the clickbait stuff, right? You guys have seen my Twitter. I say whatever the fuck I want. I don't care. And this guy came out of left field because he felt I attacked one of his favorite content creators or whatever, but I tagged them in it to make sure that they saw it, because I don't sneak this anybody. I want you to know, fuck you to your face. And then he just said, basically, well, I saw it. When you looked at your YouTube, and I went and looked at your, and Roddy commented on it actually, and he goes, I went low. You have 400 followers, and good luck with your 53 subscribers.
No,
King
said something like, I can do two things at once, and he said not from where I'm standing, and I was like, that's a little condescending. Wow. Like,
right?
That's how putting yourself on a pedestal. Right.
That's how it started, because he's got, I don't know exactly how many. He's got 1,677 subscribers.
You got to him because after he blocked you, he posted. He goes,
well, that's
what a relief. Blocked.
That's the post.
Like, why?
I just want to shout out Patrick. The post says liberating.
There you go.
And then
liberating. That's what it was.
And then I just want to point out to the fuckers in the comments
who block you too.
Let me see. Brandon Lee, Mr. Brandon Lee, who's a kind of a big time YouTuber. Fuck you. Let's see. Let's see. Fernando @NATO. Fuck you, buddy. Let's see. Dan from
Dan, here we go.
Dan from Grounded Tech. You're a bitch. I'll give you my address. You can come fight me any day you want. And then let's see. He's a tool.
So is TNT gonna get an octagon? I mean, I'm down.
We can do that. @Terry Warfield. Terry Warfield. I've never even heard of before. He says I'm a cornball, so he blocked me because Patrick told him to. This guy actually surprised me a little bit. Chad Christian, the American Dream Trading LLC man.
Oh, yeah.
He actually he blocked me because Patrick told him to block me. So he did. So
he said you called out one of his friends. He didn't like that.
Yeah, I called out one of his friends. Well, Patrick, fuck you and your mother. Just so you're clear, blocked me for a reason. And then C3, Cole C3 says I'm goofy. I'm not blocking him, though I need a good laugh every now and then. No, I appreciate that. I do.
See?
Come through and debate with me anytime. I was the captain of my debate team in middle school and high school. I didn't lose. We were undefeated. And then shout out to your mother at 13 Galaxy Prods. I actually went. This guy follows me. I had no idea who he was, and we went on that comment and called him a pussy for blocking me. And I wouldn't follow this guy because he kept the same energy. He wasn't fake around somebody else. Roddy commented on this also. Shout out to my guy Roddy. But this is the problem in the tech community, and that's why I brought it up, is because people get a little bit of something, a couple views. You get 10K, you get 1,000 followers or whatever. And then you come on a guy like my page, and because I've expressed my opinion that you don't agree with, which is fine, I'm totally cool with that. If we all had the same opinion about everything, life would be awful.
Do you guys remember a show? I think it was MTV. It was a claymation show. It was like Celebrity Smackdown or something.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
So we're gonna start a tech.
Listen.
SmackDown.
I will put the first $1,000 in to help build the octagon because I love to knock a motherfucker out. But my point is really to be honest, and that's honest to God truth, bro. I don't play. Shout out to Mike Dizzle. Mike Dizzle and his homeboy TK.
Funny guy.
Yeah, he's funny, but he told me to suck his dick after he got all upset because I said it took 6 hours to get pictures off his Pixel. I called him a liar. Took 6 hours to get pics, and then his buddy TK's garage said that he's going to come down here to Florida and beat the shit out of me. TK, if you're out there listening, buddy, I'm in Largo, Florida. I'll send you coordinates. But anyway, my whole point is these people they lead with. Well, I've got 60,000 followers, and I don't give a fuck if I have one person or a million people.
Yeah, he's in Largo. Oh. Hey, don't worry about it, man. You're good. Keep going.
I'll throw the longitude and latitude in the chat. I'm not worried. But I told him to come heavy.
Black Hawk's on its way.
Or don't come heavy or don't come at all. But my point is, the first thing that's so condescending is because your opinion differs from my opinion on something.
Right.
The first thing that you do is you put yourself on a pedestal and say, well, you have 100 people who follow you, and I have 1,000 people who follow me, so I'm better than you. That's bullshit.
Not true. Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem that we are having in the tech community. And most of those followers that they're getting because it's clickbait title. They're going, hey, wait, hold on. Make sure. Okay.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? You're getting these
episode right there.
Yeah, you're getting these false clicks, you're giving out false information, you're selling a false idea, and then you turn around and shitting on it after you told people to go spend their money. Are you moving the needle? Like he said, is Siobhan really out there selling a shitload of Galaxy S23s? Probably not. But the point is he's emulating the next guy who's emulating the next guy who's emulating the next guy, and YouTube is full of this shit. And I, for one, as somebody who's been involved in tech longer than most people, I stood in line for the very first iPhone. I stood in line for the very first Android phone. I've been in the game since then. I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I'm tired of watching the same rinse and repeat fucking video every year. Do something different.
You just shot my ideas out. There goes my future. Thanks. Damn.
He just torched all of our tech careers. No, I'm just kidding. But I will say, I've had experience where I've been invited out to these events, Samsung and Sony and all those other things. And I remember I got invited out to a Sony event when they were releasing the, I think it was the Xperia XA, whatever or other. And they invited us out, a buddy of mine, and we got invited out to this old building in Toronto that used to be an old bank. And essentially they put us in an escape room with a whole bunch of other tech creators. And in my experience, and I mean this legitimately, and I won't comment on what publications they came from because you will know them if I mention them. And guys, I'll DM you. But so the concept of an escape room is to fucking find your way out.
Right.
We would have been there all fucking night. I'm not joking. Some of the people that I met on that night, like from the tech community, had to have been some of the dumbest fucking people I've ever met in my entire life, myself included. But my point I'm getting at is that with Sony and these companies that they want to schmooze you. And I think with someone like all of these tech creators, they're just being invited out to these events, all expenses paid, hotels paid for, food paid for, and they're expected to talk the product up. and then they just fuck off. But and I understand what you're saying, King.
That's why nobody flies me out, because I will sit there at your dinner and tell you that you make a dog shit product and you should be ashamed. I will finish my dinner and go back to the hotel room and sleep like a fucking baby and not give two shits.
I mean, if some company flew me across the world to show an event, I would be positive about it because they spent a lot of money on it.
I would try.
Well, the only event I wouldn't be excited about.
Don't you?
Now listen. I'm going to say OnePlus, but not the one we saw. I'm going to the one in New York where they flew everyone to. Hey,
I was about to flip the fuck out if you were talking about that event.
No, I'm talking about when they flew everyone to the OnePlus event in New York where you watched it on a projector.
On the projector.
Even better. That was top right there.
Yeah.
And hey,
I don't even know that I'd be mad at that.
Is that the OnePlus? I like what they did.
I like the phone. I like the phone.
The Pixel people, when they sent them out to the Airstreams in the woods, that was kind of slick. I kind of like that.
That was really cool.
That was cool to me.
I was jealous.
Can I ask you a question, Sam? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
How many people you think went on that camping trip and all that shit are fucking rocking a Pixel every single day right now? Percentage wise.
I'd say probably 20%. I'd say 20%.
Okay. Yeah. I'd agree with that number. I'd agree with that.
I'd say 1 in 5. I think that's probably fair.
I don't have a problem with that. That's not what I think the problem is. I'm just saying, shout out to Google. I love y'all. You make it real hard to fucking love you guys sometimes, but I do. I always have since 2008 and even probably before then. But you guys, in my opinion, need to start giving the phone to people who are going to use it 6 months down the road and make a video about it. Like, shout out to my boy Dalvon Digital, who's not here. The fact that man is not on Team Pixel is complete fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. There are a bunch of people who I've never even fucking heard of who have 40 fucking followers that have never made one positive post or used the Pixel that get a gift in the mail. And the fact that man didn't get a free Pixel, I'll damn near buy the man a Pixel because I want to hear him talk about it because I know he's going to give me fair and unbiased content. I get you want your free phone, you don't want to rock the boat and all that, man, but my integrity is just not for sale. Fortunately enough for me, I can afford to buy my own fucking Pixel.
Yeah. Dalvon's in the chat. He's just saying facts out there.
What's up, D? That's my guy. That's my guy.
I want him part of Team Pixel, but I'm glad he buys it because I think not just him. I'm not saying he would be this way, but a lot of people that get him for free, they are biased right off the bat because you're going to feel really guilty saying, "Oh, this Samsung S23 I got for free is really crappy." You're not going to say that off the bat.
No,
there are some people like
I paid for my Samsung Galaxy S23 and I got a hell of a deal. I will say Google Fi gave me a hell of a deal, and I do fucking love the phone. I did pay for it. Had I got it for free, I would have said the same thing. And had I paid full price. And had I paid full price, I would have said the same thing. But if somebody's going to send me something and say, "Hey, here's a gift from me. I want to hear your experience about it," I'm going to tell you my experience about it. I just can't paint it in a different light than what it is. Will I try to be positive about it? Sure. But if you send me some bullshit like Sunbird app, I'm going to fucking tear you apart. That's it.
And that's
I'm going to get Sunbird to send you a T-shirt. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'll burn that motherfucker live on stream and roast marshmallows over it. Don't send me shit, Sunbird. Don't hit my DM. Don't try to fix it. Don't do nothing. Go away. I don't want nothing to do with y'all.
Okay, so just I wanted to talk, Tuna, you mentioned this a little while back here about iPhones. So another big story just out.
Saving the whales and the turtles. Yes, saving the whales and the turtles. Yep.
Bullshit.
A big content creator that you probably all know created a very clickbaity kind of video this week about Apple's, environmentally friendly feature, I guess you could call, that they've added to iPhones, where essentially by you charging your phone, you're saving the environment, right? The world.
The words are a rare environmental W. That was the tweet. That's the tweet.
So a rare iPhone environmental W.
iPhone environmental W. And Mr. I don't give a fuck on Twitter at King Sober as fuck retweeted and said, if Android did this, people would trip over their own feet to slam it.
I said the same thing. I said the exact same thing.
But they already do it.
They would.
Adaptive charge. It doesn't care what source is, but it's still adaptive charging.
That doesn't save the world. See now, then the second part of my retweet is awesome. The iPhone charges slow as fuck as it is. Now it won't even charge somehow unless the electricity is clean. Between this and no charger in the box, they have saved hundreds of trees. Hundreds.
Sorry, all my energy in my house is dirty. Real dirty energy. I can't help it, man. So better clean it up.
Is it just for iOS devices, or is it like iPads too? Does iPad have this function?
You live in Mississippi, right? I think everything's dirty in Mississippi. Roddy. You can't charge no iDevices in Mississippi, Roddy. You're done.
This is it. When the charge runs out, that's it.
You got to take your ass to the. You got to take your ass. Wow. You got to take your ass down to the ghetto. You better come back to the ghetto. But they turned it on, and I will say this: MKBHD at least was honest and said that they turned this on without you knowing it's on. You have to go in. So they decided. How does anybody have a ballpark figure of how many iPhones in the last year sold? A couple 100 million, maybe, right?
2 or 3.
Okay, 200 or 300 million people.
No, just
they flipped the switch on. Yeah, that they flipped the switch on, not including the previous gen or however. I don't know what gens it's on, but let's just say it was just the iPhone 14 and 13 that they flipped. Yeah. We're talking hundreds of millions of phones that they flipped the switch on without telling anybody. I didn't get a notification, and so now you're deciding when and where and how I get to charge my phone and telling me that it's saving the environment.
Is it a beta update or is it part of?
I'm going to call bullshit.
I have it on my bank device. I just looked at it. I'm like, okay. There's energy charging.
Apple's going to bring this up at their next key event. They're going to.
They're
going to
brag about it. The world, right? How they saved without you guys even knowing. You all saved the planet.
Yeah.
Man.
It came with the 16.3 update. It was automatically installed and automatically turned on.
Man, Android is some ghetto stuff, man. We can't save the planet with Android. We're done.
One of my complaints is like I said something about I didn't, if Android did this, I said the same thing King did, and one guy said, I don't understand, you can turn it off. What's the big deal? And I said, well, they kind of force it on you. Like they
Not
didn't
kind of.
Well,
they did.
I mean,
they did. You don't have a choice.
Well, technically, you didn't have to update your phone, right? Technically, you didn't
Roddy,
have to.
Technically, fuck you.
But
yeah, I get what you're saying.
But you had to update your phone. So if you update your phone, it turned. And then the same guy told me, he said, yeah, but you can turn it off. I said, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How many people are not going to know and think they have an issue with their phone and take it in and try to get it fixed, and maybe even the people. I mean, how many times have you went to a carrier store and they didn't know how to work your phone? You knew how to work it better than they did. So it's one of those things where it's like a lot of people are like, it's not a big deal, but it is kind of a big deal. It's a very big deal. If you can't just charge your phone, that's a big deal. Or
all right, so I went in and clicked the learn more. Did anybody click that and read what they put?
I'm reading it.
Read? Okay. What's wrong with you?
Not Tuna. Everybody else.
Not me.
With 16.1, your iPhone can try to reduce your carbon footprint by selectively charging with lower carbon emission electricity is available. When clean energy charging is enabled and you connect your iPhone to a charger, your iPhone gets a forecast of the carbon emissions in your local energy grid and uses it to charge your iPhone during times of cleaner energy production. It's only available in the United States and is on by default. So who the fuck gave them permission? I mean, I'm assuming I clicked something where it said I gave them permission, but did my electric company give them permission to have my iPhone monitor their grid? That's where I don't understand how you can. I'm going to do some tests this week with different power banks and see if I can find some dirty power that I can plug into.
Right now, in my area, I'm in a very rural part of where I live, and there is no clean energy. There's no windmills. There might be a solar panel here or there, but that's not going to be working for me. So I don't understand it.
Listen,
you're going to need a solar panel hat to plug into your phone while you just jog down the street using your iPhone.
You know what I love about this whole thing, and this is the best bit of this whole story. It's only you fucking guys in the States that are getting this clean energy. Us in Canada,
here we go.
Fuck ourselves.
Here we go.
We'll go use our fucking dirty coal and fucking hydroelectricity, the dirty water from the lake.
Wasn't there an ozone hole above Australia at one point?
Yeah, of course there is. There's fucking ozone holes about everywhere. That was my fault.
And I guess my question is what does Apple consider to be? Let me read the exact word. What do they consider to be
clean energy? Carbon.
forecast of carbon emissions in your so like in Missouri we have Callaway nuclear power plant, right? That's not a coal plant, it's a nuclear power station, right? I don't know if they service that's in the middle part of the Missouri, which Missouri is kind of a big state. I guess my question is I was able to charge and then have no problem, and nobody even noticed it. So I guess my question is, what do they consider that to be a dirty power? Is it coal-based energy transmission?
According to Michael Pepper Tech, it's when you connect the power cord to my mouth, nice and dirty. That's dirty power.
I guess that's my question is if you're getting it from a local, like a coal power plant or whatever, but let's say you have your own off-grid electricity base, right? If you have your own solar or whatever, does that count? I don't know. I mean, I just have no idea. And that's
from what I read, they take in where you live, your area. If you have a personal one in your house, they're not going to know that. It's the grid that they're going to. That's
but if you're not on the grid, then there's no grid to check.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. It may not work for you then. Yeah. That's what I think. I could be totally off base here. We'll have to wait for the keynote when they invent.
I just don't know what the hell what any of this is. I was like, I didn't even.
I just wonder. I wonder
grid during peak times of charger production. I'm like, what the hell does that even mean?
I just wonder when did Apple become so anti-consumer? They've never been anti-consumer before, right? This is the first thing that they've ever forced on their fan base, right? They've never done that before, right?
Well, from my recollection, it's the first time they've kind of introduced a feature, but not really. No, Roddy, you're shaking your head.
Yeah.
No,
what was it?
No. They put that U2 album on our phones, remember?
Oh, yes. Fuck, sorry. Yes.
Roddy's still pissed. Damn. They pissed
and
a lot of people off.
It's still on there. It's always on there. You can delete it and then get a new device. Yeah. And when you sign in, it's back on there.
Oh, that's an agreement they signed with U2 for sure. That's a fucking $1 million thing right there. Basically, every iPhone.
I forgot about that, Roddy. People were pissed. That even made it on a South Park episode. That's how big that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I was going to say, I mean, the sneaking a feature in is a little un-Apple, and I get what you're saying there, King. Like, it's not like they didn't make it. I mean, they mentioned
it just feels like they snuck it under the rug a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Because I started going through people's tweets and like trying to find tweets, and people were like, I was wondering why the fuck my phone wasn't charging. Like, I'm looking at this shit, it's plugged in, it didn't pop up and say, hey, you got dirty energy, you little bitch.
Wait a second. The light bulb just come on. I just figured it out.
Clean energy light bulb?
There's smoke coming out of your ears?
I know exactly what it is. So, because Android phones use USB-C and they're ghetto, and Apple's going to have to switch over to USB-C, so they got to determine whether or not you're getting clean energy or dirty energy. That's what it's all about.
That certification for the cables, right?
Yeah.
We're all under the same assumption, I would assume. I'm going to go out on a limb, but I think that we're all weathered enough and have been in the game long enough to understand that Apple's not going to just give us USB-C on an iPhone just the way it is. It's going to be like MFI. It's going to be some weird fuck shit. Like, it's not going to be, and I don't disagree with you. I think that clean energy shit is going to be a way for them to box out 90% of USB-C cables and charging banks and all kinds of stuff. I think that could actually be legitimate.
Think about it. Apple's got a stronghold, at least in the U.S., and they're selling pretty good other places too. This is what worries me about this is they're forcing this on people, right? So, is this a bookmark for what's going to happen in the future? Like, are they going to start doing this because they know Apple users aren't going to say anything? They're not going to fight it. You got MKBHD singing his praises. So, I mean, if people are going to...
He said they're going to save the planet. Right. I don't even understand the optics behind it, or how the hell does this help my carbon footprint? Nobody can... I'm waiting for the keynote. I want to see Captain fucking Planet and the Avengers and shit come out and explain this shit to me.
Oh, so Android's Thanos. We're going to click our fingers and everyone's going to go.
You got it? Hey, people say Tuna's not a smart guy. He gets it.
Smart to stretch.
I kind of see sort of what they're getting at, because if you think about, there's here recently there's been several instances where there's been major metropolitan cities that have had like rolling blackouts and power outages and things like that. So I get sort of kind of the technology that's coming behind it. What I don't understand is your phone charging doesn't. It's not pulling that much.
Especially Apple. They don't charge fast anyways. What the hell are they pulling?
That's what I said in my tweet. I said, so they already charge slow as fuck.
Right.
So that's my thing. It's like, it's kind of a pointless thing to have in a phone, but I could see it.
The same reason that they took, there's the same reason that they took the chargers out of the box and told you that it's saving the planet.
I'm snapping the finger.
There you go.
There, snapped. We're done.
You ready? You ready?
Well, there you go.
It gives them something that they can talk to, right? Right. Charger out of the box, and it costs them no money. And there's you're not going to get a worse carbon footprint, right? You're either going to get nothing or maybe 0.1% of a better carbon footprint, right? So there's no lose there. Again, it's so smart. It's almost funny. It's like we did it, and they said, well, that's why we took the charger out. We're trying to eliminate e-waste, and we did this clean energy thing.
Somebody should make them have to back that shit up at some point. I mean, because
here's the problem. Android's got adaptive charging, right? We already have it. So Samsung, Google, someone's going to say, well, we have the same thing. They're going to rename it, and then we're going to all be copying each other again.
Look, you want to know the honest to God truth?
But it's not really adaptive charging. That's
I'm just saying it's going to be along the same lines for Android.
To Roddy's point, if you were in New York City and you had a rolling blackout, and then you found a place to charge your phone and couldn't because that switch is on and you didn't know it, you know how fucked you'd be? The only power source you could get is some dirty, filthy power source from some alley, right? I need to charge this to call my grandma and let my grandma know I'm alive.
So you're gonna see guys in dark alleys like scratching their necks with like these dirty power banks. Like, come on, you want them?
You want to connect to my Samsung power bank? This is not NFI certified.
Yeah. 1.5 watts.
Do you want to know how
dirty?
You want to know how far this whole clean push has gone? Mike's lost all of his fucking hair. He plugged in his iPhone and his fucking hair fell out, and now he's so fucking clean. Look at him.
He's Mike, so fresh and so
no hair, no beard. He's completely.
He's looking
fresh. I think you just saved the planet as well. That's awesome.
Yes, he did.
Right, he saved on haircuts. I mean, that's at least some kind of carbon footprint. Yeah, no clippers.
I burned through all the energy using the hair clippers, though.
Did you use clean energy using those clippers? That's the question.
No, I made sure it came from the toilet water, and I put like a little hydro energy thing in there, and made sure it was awful.
Hey, here's one thing you guys can do if you want clean energy. This is like in 4th grade science. You get a potato, and you put two.
Fuck you, man! I got a potato clock. It's on my desk. It's still
right, but it can charge your phone too. It's clean, and you can eat it and make fries out of it later.
I did. I came back 4 days later. I had 20%. It was good. It worked out pretty good.
Plug it in, turn the app on, make a video, and say you're switching to the iPhone to save the environment.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right there. Yeah.
Actually, I have an idea. I'm gonna do a short and say I'm switching from clean to dirty energy and post it and see what people think.
So
your career is over.
When you instead of
Michael Pepper Tech, it'll be Michael Salty Tech. Just switch it up just a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, actually, I have an interview next Wednesday. That's why I shaved and everything. Got a little.
Cleaning up.
Gotta look all professional. All right.
Yeah.
Looking sharp there, Mike. So guys, just really quickly. So right now, Mobile World Congress Conference, whatever the fuck that thing's called, is on. Anything caught your eye?
Yes.
That's been a thing. What?
Everything. No.
Yeah.
Everything?
I'm going to say, I know you guys don't like, I live in the US, so importing phones is bad. But I really like the Honor 5G Pro or the 5 Pro. I think it looks interesting. The cameras are good. It's got this weird, I don't know if you guys saw a short, but I think it was Tech Chap or something, where you set this mode. And I know with Pixel, you can snap picture in motion and it's going to not be blurry. But this one automatically snaps the picture, so you get good pictures every time. I like to try different things. Everyone's got a Samsung, everyone's got iPhones, so Xiaomi products or the Honor products, OnePlus, some of the more lesser known brands, I like to try those. The TCL had that tablet that did 3D
that's
without the glasses. But what pissed me off is it uses the Snapdragon 888, so it's 3 years behind already.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, the company behind that technology, I forget what they're called, they're actually already pre-ordering the same tablet under their name on their website, and it's $1,100. And they're like, if you reserve it for nothing, we'll give you $100 discount. $1,000, I can get S8 Ultra, the Tab S8 Ultra, and save some money. So it's a tough sell. Cool technology, but it's a tough sell at that price. And you'd be a beta tester for sure.
I like the rollable. The rollable is pretty sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. That was pretty sweet. I'm like, okay, I'm into that. Yeah,
ugly.
That was cool. Yeah,
ugly but sweet.
The Motorola Riser, that thing's ugly as shit.
So if you're watching OnlyFans, will it actually grow larger? And watch OnlyFans? I'm just asking a question. I don't mean it. King is like, shut the fuck
up. I know that I say a lot of things, but I'm not going to say anything. But on that note,
I was going to say that Tuna Tech would need a screen that shrinks then.
Oh, hey, good one. Well played.
Little tuna. The thing that I would just, of course, wonder about. I mean, I think it's the same reason. Obviously, we know foldables are on the rise. We're looking for ways to be more compact, to get bigger. We've seen OnePlus has had some success in the back with the pop-up camera, right?
Yeah.
But how many people kept that long enough for that to like really see how many times that mechanism? The fold is supposed to fold, or my flip is supposed to fold 257,449 times. I don't fucking know what number I'm at. So I guess just wondering, with that small bit of screen that rolls up, somebody said, if it hits the corner or something or whatever, it's probably going to snap, or it doesn't seem that viable to hold, or maybe it's flexible like some of those things. But somebody did say that they heard, and I don't know because I didn't see, but if you drop it, it has the drop detection the same way like OnePlus did with their pop-out camera, where it would roll back. But if you're driving down the road at 60 miles an hour and you get a car accident, your phone's still going 60 miles an hour. How quickly it like so?
Yeah, but any phone going to survive a 60 mile an hour?
I think almost any phone probably fucking 60 miles an hour.
That's where we get to this case right here, sponsored by if you have military grade, drop it. No, I'm just fucking. I don't sponsor by anybody. But no, I guess my point is just like, if my 4-year-old niece grabs that shit out of my hand, is it done? Is that an $1,800 phone that's fucked? You know what I'm saying?
It could be, but at least I guess my only point is, at least it's a company trying to push display technology, push boundaries, try to come up with something that maybe at its current iteration, maybe it's not practical, but maybe it can be practical. I mean, foldable.
I would have liked it.
If you were told me 4 years ago that they would make a folding phone, I would have told you you're out of your fucking mind. But then here we are. I would have liked it a
whole lot more from somebody other than Motorola personally, but that's just me.
How about this?
Just me.
But, remember the Escobar phones? Maybe they'll just rebrand it with some gold, and we'll buy it right up.
I wanted one of those Escobar phones bad, but I knew better. I knew better, but I was like, I still want it.
I think Escobar, the real question is, they started Sunbird. I think they started the Sunbird company.
That's true. Yeah.
That's the same company behind Sunbird?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Fucking all makes it full circle. What's up,
the
man?
real question is, if I yeet it out the window aggressively,
he said yeet.
Because we all know that, then the gyroscopes won't work according to this case. So will it still scroll up? Or am I, stuck? I got to be careful about my yeeting phones out the window.
I think you're stuck. And when you get on Roddy's OnlyFans, it will shrink automatically.
Yes.
But while we're on the topic of the rollable, in my humble opinion, which I have many of, but I think the most interesting rollable device that was shown off at MWC was actually the rollable laptop by Lenovo. Did anybody remember that?
I saw that.
They dropped a video about that back in October, but they actually brought it out, and I followed everything. That thing is fucking badass.
Yeah. And I guess my question is, who owns does Motorola part of Lenovo?
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
Lenovo owns Motorola.
So I guess my question is,
Lenovo owns Motorola.
Right. So I guess my question is it just because it was a laptop? Because you kind of like balked against Morola doing it. But Lenovo is Motorola, right?
Right. But Lenovo owns Lenovo. I'll speak to it. Motorola is owned by Lenovo. If I'm not, fact check me if I'm wrong, or maybe it's the other way around.
That's correct.
Lenovo owns Motorola. My experiences with Motorola devices over the years have been less than stellar. My experience with Lenovo devices has been pretty solid across the board. Hasn't been spectacular, hasn't been too shitty. It's been pretty solid. Watching both comparison videos side by side, to me, just my appearance and to my eyes, that Lenovo laptop looks like a better quality product than that Riser does. Riser looks like, hey, we got this cool idea. Maybe this shit will come out sometime. This Lenovo thing looks like it could be ready to sell next month. To me.
Yeah.
To me.
Maybe they were put up that way. Maybe that the Riser is basically really a prototype device, and the Lenovo is actually something that they want to leverage to market.
Right,
and it might be.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that makes sense too. But I'm still not. I know that a lot of people aren't going to agree with me. And that's cool. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. Especially Tuna. He's not going to agree to me. But I've owned multiple folds. I've owned multiple fold phones, Samsung Galaxy Folds, and I'm just not that big of a fan. And in fact, I think that the Flip is actually the better foldable out of the two. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I own my Flip, and I have a Duo, so I get it.
I actually think that since we're talking about the Duo, I think the Duo folding device is a better concept product than the Galaxy Folds that I've used. I would prefer if you could give me a Samsung Galaxy Fold 5 and a Duo 3 body with an ultra camera. I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, I like my Duo.
I like that hinge. I don't dislike the Fold. I don't love the Fold. It is what I find it very cumbersome after a while. Anytime I need to really do something, I got to open it up. It's cool for being at home, people like us that are tech enthusiasts, but day-to-day usage.
Yeah.
You muted your mic. Tuna.
I think I agree. I disagree because the book style is more reliable because you don't have to always open it. Whereas the Flip, at least on the Sony or Samsung version, you constantly have to flip it open to actually get any real work done.
Yeah, but I can do that. I can do that with one fucking hand.
I'm just saying. I
can drive and I can do. Oh, okay. Well, but my
screen reliability. The screen's going to give out eventually.
Yeah. I mean, it's all this shit is made to break. Whatever. It's nothing lasts anymore. But I think my bigger problem is more that I ended up using that front screen on the that weird whatever the fuck ratio that is, and I'm going like this to fucking get shit done because I didn't want to open it up and fucking have this huge screen. But when I wanted to sit down and open it up and have a tablet, it was great. Right. But I found myself using it less and less. And then I started asking other people the same thing. I had a couple of people that I knew out in the world. My brother-in-law works for the city. They all have folds for some reason. I don't know. And I asked them, I said, hey, man, how often do you open up the fold to search for something, or do you find yourself using that front screen? So I use this front screen probably about 90% of the time. And then when I can sit down, I open it. And that's what I found with my experience. And so that's why I didn't like it. Now, if they had made a regular, like the Oppo N2, the Find N2, something like that. Now, hey, man, I fucking love the look of that. I would love to try that out. I don't want to import it.
But that's the screen. Even the screen on that, if you look at the reviews, it's still not as usable as you'd like it to be.
And I guess as a Duo user, and because there is no outer screen, you get to a point where you don't even notice it. I mean, you kind of just use it. It's like any kind of other phone, right? There have been times where it becomes cumbersome if I'm in doing something. But honestly, because I can't leverage an outside screen, I have to be more deliberate about it, and I don't check it as much. Or worst case, I have the original Duo because I broke my Duo too. I just basically turn it inside out and have the one screen. So I still am having a one screen device if I really wanted to, if I'm putting it in my pocket and pulling it out. But I don't know. I guess it's just, again, it's like anything else. Me and King are not going to have the same kind of workflow kind of applications, and we're going to have different tastes. And that's why I think more devices of more kinds of rollables and foldables and flippables.
Oh, I'm all for that.
I think we need to kind of do that because for me, using a Duo for now 2.5 years between two iterations, I'm in. I kind of dig it. I mean, it's not. Is it perfect in all areas? No, but man, it's a hell of a good thing to use when I'm reading. Would you say that
you're more interested personally in a Duo 3, a Fold 5, or a Google Pixel Fold?
Well, if it's going to be a Duo 3 that's a folding screen like that they're going to change to that Microsoft's talking about, then I'm definitely going to look more at the Samsung or a Pixel.
Okay. Because and then if you had just preliminary, just off the top right now, had to pick one today. If I had both here and you didn't know too much about, which one would you probably pick?
I would go for a Fold 5.
Is it because of the history?
It's because I don't. This would be Google's first Pixel product is a foldable, and we all know first generations of anything can get a little dodgy. I know.
Agreed.
And and with Duo 3, that's going to be a completely new form factor for Microsoft and how they're going to leverage the software, because they have to do a lot of software tricks to get Duo to work with two screens because of the way Android renders a single screen device like a tablet. So 5 iterations of the Fold, because people I know that have using a Fold 4, I don't find many people really shitting on it other than the fact that it folds. As far as a competent phone, they seem to really like it. It's now
it's a really good phone.
The fifth iteration of a Samsung device. I think just as a betting person, as a person who's going to spend maybe $1,500 to $1,800, I don't know, man. I've had 2 years of being an experimental person with Duo 2.
Don't you think for that amount of money, though, you should get a better camera?
I think they're going to do it this year.
I would say yes, but I'm not really a photography person. I take pictures, but I'm not really.
Right.
I think most cameras on most phones these days, unless you're buying a really bargain basement Android device, are pretty competent. I've been using a Duo for Christ's sake.
The Duo's got good cameras. They do.
It's okay.
No, the Duo's it's okay. The Fold is okay. My Flip is okay. They're okay cameras. My Ultra camera is great. It is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. So it just depends on what
I would like to see, I would like to see the Fold 5 to come out, even if they put the Galaxy S21 Ultra cameras on it. I'm fine with it.
I'd be good with that.
I'll be okay with that.
I'll be honest with you, even with the Pixel Fold, if they put the fucking Pixel 5 cameras that they use
6A,
for 5
the same one.
Yeah. 12.2 megapixel, whatever it is.
Well, because with Google, it's never been about their hardware. It's always about the computational part. So really, they can have decent hardware, and as long as they're using the same computational algorithm in photography, I think a Fold will be probably pretty solid.
I can't tell you how or why I know this, but I have some very, very close insider information that the Google Pixel Fold will be similar to a Galaxy Fold first gen phone with that type of camera.
Okay.
Well, like the 6A. Google would be. I think it'd be competent. I think you could really, especially Google's pretty sensitive to the fact that they launch a camera that's got a really subpar camera experience. They're going to get crushed already. They're stepping into that pool. They want to make sure, at least if they're going to land something, they might as well get the camera right, because the rest of the device might be open to scrutiny, basically.
So I've got a question, because this is an argument that I make all the time with the Fold, because I have one. All right, so King, I want you to answer this question. Everybody else can answer too, but since you brought it up, since he brought it up, so. The new Pixel, they have 48, 50 megapixel cameras in it, right?
Yeah, 48.
Right, yeah. Right. And we agree they take some of the best pictures that you can get on a mobile device, right? Okay. So if the Fold with a 50 megapixel camera took pictures that good, would you want better cameras in it?
Huh.
For $2,000, yes. Yeah. Would I expect?
So it's the principle. No. It's not so much that it's got bad cameras. It's just the principle of it.
Yeah, and then I think also too the way that the Fold was presented from the very. I don't know if anybody here had the very first Fold, but I had the very first Fold. The presentation was this folding box. There was this 24-hour concierge line. It was this exclusive fucking thing, right? And this is supposed to be the revelation to redesigning the entire smartphone environment, right? And it is. It is probably one of the most this could be a clip and thumbnail, a hot take, but it's probably one of the most interesting things to happen to smartphones since the first iPhone came out. As far as moving the needle, right? We know that the iPhone, nobody's going to debate the iPhone, very first iPhone of 2007 revolutionized the smartphone industry. I think foldables can do that. They haven't done it yet. I think it's on that way. But I think the way that it was presented from Jump Street was, this is the best of the best. This is exclusive. Yeah. It folds. It does this. It does that. And then I took a picture on it, and it looked like I filmed it with a potato. So I was like, fuck. And then I called the phone number.
Did you put Vaseline on the lenses again?
No, I rubbed my ass on it. I just
that makes sense.
Yeah. But then I called the concierge number, and it was just it was a lot of hoopla bullshit. It came with like a restaurant coupon, $25 coupon thing that I had to sign up. It's a bunch of bullshit, and I felt a little taken advantage of. But I got it because it was a first gen, and of course I'm going to get it. And I just think that while there have been a lot of improvements, they've been in the foldable market. I think the improvements have been very Apple-esque in each iteration, and I think that's by design. So if you're charging me $2,000 for really fucking anything, I would like to at least have some of the best of something. And the cameras is one of the easiest things to point at on the phone. Does it take bad pictures? No. Shout out to Mike Costal. I don't know, Costal, good dude, boxing guy. He's always taking pictures with his phone. Takes some amazing shots. Amazing shots. I love that guy.
And this is why like everyone's selling their iPhones. Like I have the iPhone 14 Pro and I'm bored with it. It's a slab phone, and I'm not trying to make
this one.
I'm not saying
Don't buy his. Buy mine.
I'm not selling mine yet, but either way, I'm not sold on this like iPhone versus Android thing. But what I'm saying is, when you have iPhone, you buy what they give you, a couple different sizes, whatever. But with Android, you can buy whatever. You can buy a $20 Android phone, or you can buy a $2,000 folding phone, but you have options, and that's what I like about Android. You might have the same experience. Like my dad had a TCL 20, and he wanted an IR blaster. He finally broke down and got the S23 Ultra. I called him today. I said, "What do you think?" He goes, "Well, it's different." He goes, "When I had my TCL, I put my Bluetooth headphones in. The last app I used Bluetooth on would open back up on the TCL. It doesn't do that on Samsung." He goes, "I have to use a dongle for my IR blaster." Those things I don't give two craps about, but he does. So everyone's different, but you have those options. When you have Apple, you get different size, and of course you get the same planet. But that's besides.
Well, and King, and here's my only counterpoint here, and you're totally valid. I agree with you about the cameras, but here's why my $2,000. Since I'm not a camera person, it's not camera centric. It doesn't move the needle. But with my Duo, my $1,500 gets me to do something that you can't do, which is have a dual screen productivity device. Right. It can't, and also nobody in public is asking you about your phone. Nobody. It's an iPhone or an Android or whatever. They recognize it. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a store. I literally, and I don't even pay attention because I'm so used to using it. I swear to God, every person looks at me like I'm from another fucking planet. And they're like, "What the fuck are you using? Is that a phone?"
The first day I had the Flip 4, I had 3 people ask me if this was the new folding iPhone. Right. Is that a folding iPhone?
Well, I was like, maybe someday. But I mean, I say, well, just using the Duo, the fact, well, then it's a micro. Then you told them, I showed them that I can fold it all the way back on itself, and they thought I was like doing a card trick. They were like, "Holy shit, is that an Android thing?" I said, "Yeah, it's made by Microsoft. It's a Duo." And they're like, I mean, I had a conversation with some girl who was an iPhone user, and like, she goes, "Hey, come and look at this." And I showed it to her. She was blown away. And I'm like, for me, if you're a tech head, that discussion and having you get everywhere you walk, it's like somebody's looking at it, is just worth it to me. That's
getting
like,
someone interested in a different device. It's awesome.
At least they're talking about it. They're like, "Wow,
do you think that person is? Do you think that person's going to go out and buy a Duo after that, or are they going to go? Well,
no.
But I will tell you
the conversation started.
But I will tell you though is one day maybe she's going to be online and Apple's going to announce some kind of a foldable, and she's going to go, "Oh shit." Now, and I'm telling you, foldables will become mainstream when Apple puts the good housekeeping seal of approval on it. If they develop and launch one, then it's all in. And then everybody in the world's going to go, "Holy shit." That's when it's
in September, when they release USB-C, they will have invented USB-C.
Right. Oh, we already know that. Yeah.
So for me, your point is correct. I mean, if you're going to spend $2,000 for you want that camera to perform. For me, it's a lot more of the intangibles and a lot more of the flex, and it's more of the discussion, and it's more of like, I have a phone that probably nobody has, and so it makes me unique, and that for me that kind of works for me. For me, I'm going to spend a little bit of money. I'm okay with that. That's just
I get that. I get that. That's a good point.
When I buy my $60 Apple USB cord, I'm going to flex for sure. Okay.
My concern about the Pixel Fold is going to be software based, because one thing that Samsung does really well, in my opinion, is you have the edge panel, you have the taskbar, the multitasking, like the gestures they introduced, Dex mode. Even if they aren't going to do a desktop mode, which has now been native to Android, 3 years now? Mm-hmm. They need to at least have a video out, and they don't even do that on their regular Pixels. They don't do any of the stuff. You can't remove that stupid the main clock header on a Pixel.
You can't remove the header. You can't
launcher.
Move
you can't
the search bar. You can't even fucking use an icon back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. With the Pixel Fold, I mean, it's either going to be a fucking knockout success, and people are going to love it, and it's not. It's not. But and this is the thing, and I think Google have a really fucking hard sale. And there was just an article that came out just before we went on air from Android Authority saying that they should delay the Google Pixel one more year. And I get it. I understand why. right? Because you're going to have
perfect it.
Yeah, perfect it, get it right, then release it.
Otherwise, don't have a Pixel. Oh, never mind. I was like, don't get a Pixel Watch situation, but I have a lot of lovers of the Pixel Watch. I think I should have waited. I think I should have waited a year.
Here, you want mine?
Yeah.
Here.
I sold mine already. I'm done.
Yeah, me too.
Who wants to buy it? Who wants to buy this thing for me?
One other thought is they need to stay away from doing that trash under the display camera.
Yeah,
on the inside. And if they're gonna do it, I'd like to see them do like Pixel 5 style, where it's in the corner. Because the one thing, like, I have the Vivo X Fold, and when you open it, when you rotate the inside, right, so you get the larger, wider view because the aspect ratio, it's different to get the actual full video. Then you end up with a pinhole cut out in the edge of your video. So if they put that camera in the corner, that's the one thing I really liked about the original Fold. You had that notch, but it was never in the way of anything really, because it's in the status bar. You rotate it sideways, it was then low enough that it never cut into video.
Fucking up my view.
Well, here's the deal. I think we all need to plug our iPhones in and save the planet and end this damn show. Because if we don't end soon and I can't charge, then the whole world's going to end.
We're at the point. I just want to say,
I just want to say that I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. And here's why. Here's why. Because the iPhone 13 Pro is still, in my opinion, the better phone than the 14 Pro. And I own the 14 Pro. I wish I didn't buy the 14 Pro. I bought into the hype on the camera, which was, in my opinion, is a letdown. I think it takes worse videos. You talked about RAW all you want. If I got to get on fucking Lightroom and do a bunch of shit to make my dog look cute on Instagram, fuck that. And two, the dynamic island is absolutely fucking worthless to me.
Wait, hold on. Hello? Oh, I won an environmental award for plugging in my iPhone? Well, thank you. Right. I will accept.
Fuck that. Fuck the planet. I'm here to destroy it. No, but honestly, what a cool idea, right? To introduce something that I thought was unique and could be needle moving, and really just fumble the fucking ball in the 1 yard line, Apple. I mean, you're leaving it up to the devs. Devs are doing some cool things. Some people are doing the Uber app. I know Darren talked about it a couple weeks ago. There's some cool little tricks, but is that fucking worth $1,300? No. I really wish I hadn't bought this fucking phone. In fact, I'm selling this phone, and because you know why? Not because it's a bad phone. It's just not great at anything. It's good at all the things and great at absolutely. What is a master of none is what I would name my review of the iPhone 14 Pro. Master of none. It's
King. The longer this thing goes, I'm going to have a rolling blackout soon. We're running out of power over here. All right.
One final thought, and I'm
trying hard here. It's not working.
I think the dynamic island's here to stay, which fucking bothers me because I know that should stay for at least another couple more generations.
Wow, Roddy, that was deep.
But at the end of the day, look, guys, I agree. It doesn't matter which device you're actually using, as long as you're having fun with it, as long as it
enjoy it. Like it if it works for you. But don't be a fucking douchebag about it. Don't say Samsung sucks because you don't. But don't say that Samsung sucks because you like the iPhone. If you like the iPhone, say I like the iPhone and this works for me, and I'll respect that.
I'll try this out.
Yeah, because like literally, I mean, people all fucking day long, like literally sit on Twitter and they talk shit and they say, well, this thing sucks, or this thing sucks, or this whatever. This guy said at Scrub My SCK said, I just returned my
out. You see this? Oh shit!
I just returned my. No, listen, hold on. I'm making a point. I just returned my Galaxy S23 Ultra and went back to my iPhone 14 Pro Max. The S23 Ultra's battery life is definitely no joke, but it's not better than my 14 Pro Max. Third-party apps work 100 times better on iPhone, and the OS just overall operates better. Here in the US, having an iPhone makes life easier. Normally, I wouldn't say shit.
Here we go again.
I wouldn't have said shit, but I retweeted it, and I read it, and I said, because maybe that's your preference. But that whole comment is bullshit. Third-party apps are not 100 times better on the iPhone. That's been a long time dead. And the OS doesn't just operate better. It's completely fucking different. You're comparing literally apples to oranges. And having an iPhone in the US, I have 4 iPhones right now. My life's not any fucking easier. In fact, I think it's a little harder to get some of these things done that I want to get done. Have you ever tried to fucking use SMS on an iPhone? Yeah. Like, it's not easier. So just say you prefer the iPhone and move on. You don't gotta shit on something else and whatever. I like the Galaxy S23 Ultra more than the iPhone 14 Pro. God. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna fucking say this phone's a piece of shit. This phone's a good phone.
King, I'm losing it over here. You got to hurry up, man.
On that note, we will leave it there for tonight, guys. Thank you very much to Roddy, King, MPT, Mike, Sam, Tuna. You can catch us all again, guys, every Thursday on YouTube and Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Audible. Fuck, you can even catch us on 2 paper cups and a piece of string if you're a fan of Tuna's.
You just cannot catch us on the Sunbird app. We're not there.
Yeah, we won't be there in the Sunbird app anymore. And if you are watching this right now, go out there and tweet out to Sunbird and just tell them, fuck you from TNT
Fuck
Podcast.
you, Sunbird.
And we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Bye, guys.